Welcome back. We're on build day 46 here at Casa TexPina. Guys should be continuing with the block wall above the lintel beams on the master suite, as well as working on the beams for the second floor floor slab. So everything above the kitchen and everything above the kitchen and great room will be getting a second floor floor slab. So the ceiling will actually be the floor for the media room above. We're just taking advantage of some attic space, not really a true second story. They poured the lintel beams around the maid suite yesterday, so this morning they're tearing the forms off of that, gonna place them in another location and continuing with more lintel beams. Everybody's favorite stuff. We got lots of beams. Okay, so let's get started. Alright, guys are pouring mix and mortar, pulling forms off of concrete that they poured yesterday afternoon. Lots of mortar, which means lots of blocks. We're going to get more of these, and they're all going up here above the lintel beams. Got a couple guys still continuing to form the beams over the large picture windows. Guys are placing more hollow block. They'll continue. They'll do three courses of block like this all along this south wall. What they'll do then after that is come back over the top of this with a roof beam. So that'll be another beam, not quite this large, but a little bit bigger than the normal lintel beam that they had been putting, and that's what the roof will actually rest upon. So that'll be tied into the columns on the ends, and then I'll transfer all the weight down to the column. Got Mr. Orland over here building more lintel beams. So these are going to connect around the hallway half bath, support the load a little bit. He found a nice shady spot. Smart man. They're putting rock in buckets. That means we're getting ready to pour some concrete somewhere. Let's go take a look where they're making concrete. All right, guys continued pouring this morning. They finished up with the beam around the garage area, and also poured one of the columns here in bedroom 3. So that one's getting poured today. Mr. Alex is continuing the hollow block above dirty kitchen. So he's going to take that up to 3 courses. So he's got another course to go. And that'll be, then on top of that we'll go a roof beam. So the guys finished pouring the concrete in the column in bedroom 3. Now they're working on pouring concrete into the bottom of the posts for the front porch. So take a look here. They're putting in about 45 centimeters of material in the bottom, and then when they're done, once that settles and cures, probably tomorrow morning, they'll start working on forming up the rest of the height that they need. They may only do a partial, similar to what they did with the columns in the great room. They only did a partial just to get it above ground. They did it above ground, and then they'll go up the rest of the way. Continuing around the house, they're relocating the scaffolding around to the front. So they're moving from the south wall over towards the east wall. So they're still on the master suite. This is the end of the bath on that column, and then around this way is all of the master's closet. So they're going to do the same thing. They're going to go up 3 courses of hollow block in preparation for the roof beam that'll go on later. All right, post lunch walk around. Let's go take a look. Looks like they're building forms for the beams around bedroom 2. Afternoon. So they're working that on the inside and the outside. See Mr. Alex, Mr. Oliver, and Mr. Ben. And on the inside also is Mr. Marvin. So that's our 4 workers on that site. Have up there standing above everybody else is Mr. Alex, and he is working on another course of hollow block above the kitchen area. Mr. Pablo is moving fill material for us. Still trying to get all the rooms up to grade. Mr. Justin and Jericho are working the hollow block along with Mr. J and Mr. Rafi. Looks like they're taking down this section of scaffolding and moving on to the next location. Mr. Wilson and Mr. Jojo are continuing to work on the forms for the large beams going over the top of the picture windows. Let's go look on the guest side of the house. So they poured this column earlier today. See Mr. Pablo is pouring fill in this location in the hallway. Got a heck of a drop there. And again from the inside, Mr. Alex working on the forms for the beams. We'll cut through. I hear so they're gonna remix the mortar. And Mr. Alex and Mr. Oliver and Manny are still bending rebar. They're building the 16mm, which leads me to believe it's going to be for some of the larger beams. I'm doing a little walk around. They just got done making concrete. Mr. Manny and Mr. Orley are up here in the middle building beam to support the attic floor, and it's going to be the same height as the one on the other side of the great room. So they're also building up the making the forms for the lintel beams around the guest bedroom areas. And they are continuing with the block walls on the front. So they already finished the block wall above the lintel beam on the master closet. We're getting ready to start to come around. Mr. Jericho is coming around the office This is the office space, and Mr. Justin right here is doing the formal dining room. So they're got their scaffolding in place, and they're getting ready to get started. They did finish pouring the posts for the front porch. They're going to let these cure overnight and then probably start working on those again tomorrow. Looks like they're getting ready to pour the concrete on these big beams here in the great room. So they finished with all the forms, and they're starting to pour they're going to start pouring these here shortly. So that's going to be a lot of concrete. They're going to be busy the rest of the afternoon. Let's go run back here, take a look up. Yes, as I was showing you from the garage area, Mr. Orley and Mr. Manny are building the beams to support the floor above this area, so the attic floor. All right. Still working on pouring the concrete in the beam. Take a walk through, see about going up and look at it from up top. From up here you can see what everybody else is doing. We got Mr. Orland, and Mr. Manny building the beams that are going to be the same height as the beam on the other side of the great room. So that's where the second floor is, the attic floor is going to be. And then on the far end there, the gentleman in the blue, that's Mr. Ben, and he is building forms for the beams over the second bedroom area. And on the other side of this wall are the guys making concrete, and they're running it through the hallway, out from the garage and through the hallway into the breakfast nook. Then of course you have Miss Emie supervising from below. Alright, got to deliver you cement. Pilan? 50 pieces. Okay, 50 bags. Alright, see how many jobs I can catch all in one shot. Okay, I've got guys over here pouring cement into the beams. I've got two gentlemen here building the forms for the beams. I've got two gentlemen up here building beams. The supervisor watching, making sure everything's in the right place. And just over here, I've got four other gentlemen, there's one on the other side of the wall, that are putting up the additional hollow block, the 3 courses above the lintel beam, getting up to the roof beam. So I think that's just about everybody that's working, with the exception of maybe 4 people on the back side making concrete. That's pretty much everyone on the site. Alright, we're going to start wrapping up for build day number 46. You guys have been busy today. Lots of rebar going into place. Lots of concrete going into place from first thing this morning until this afternoon. More hollow block as well. So the guys have been building over on this side of the house. More hollow block. As you can see, guys are still transporting hollow block. And that's going into the 3 courses above the lintel beam so that we can get up to the roof beam height. Now in the center, you see Mr. Orley and Mr. Manny. Those 2 guys are building the beam that's going to support the attic floor. So we got a concrete slab for the attic floor over the main part of the house. And then over on this side of the house, we had gentlemen pouring concrete this afternoon with the lintel beams over this area. Didn't get all of it done. We got part of it started, but where they spent most of their time pouring concrete today was the big beam here in the middle over the picture windows. So we got those done today. Can't wait till tomorrow, pull the forms off and see what it looks like. Those will be the biggest beams we've poured to date so far. So that about wraps it up for today. So Casa TexPina build day 46 is in the books. So if you like today's video, please give us a big thumbs up. If you'd like to see more of these videos, hit the subscribe button or the Casa TexPina star in the bottom right hand corner of your screen and you will be subscribed. If you'd like to know when our next video has been uploaded for your viewing pleasure, hit the bell icon just below the view screen and you'll be notified on the next upload. So until then, have a great afternoon and God bless. Thank you for watching. If you liked today's video, please hit like, subscribe, and hit the little bell icon to be notified when our next video becomes available.